Don't let it go, let it go. Don't let it slip away.
Okay, so since my car videos seem to be way more of a hit over my mental health videos, I figured let's make another one. Whatever will bring the crowd in. And if you guys do feel like checking out my mental health videos, like, please do, because they could be helpful for you. But anyway, so my first video was about the basics of driving stick, and so people were asking me to make a video of me actually driving, going fast. I don't know how I'm going to be able to show you how fast I'm going, just because, first of all, I only have like this GoPro kind of like stick, selfie stick thing. But also today I'm going to have to use the mount on my fucking snowboarding helmet because I just don't have one of those like suction cup mounts right now. So we're going to see how this is going to turn out. But over the course of the video, I wanted to talk about, I guess, tips that could help you while you're racing. Not advocating any illegal activity, but things like rev matching, like what gear you should be in, and just some other tips that could be helpful. So let's get it. Okay, so I don't know if you guys can hear the song in the background. I'm sure there's going to be so much crackling noise from my terrible case. But the Tokyo Drift theme song, like, always kind of gets me in the mood to, like, you know, get it. So I'm coming up to a freeway on-ramp, and these are, like, one of the best ways to kind of accelerate pretty quick, as long as there's not a lot of people on the on-ramp. A lot of people enjoy kind of... Alright, so we're coming up to the on-ramp. I'm literally going to take such a long pause here because I don't want that many people in front of me. Sorry to the person behind me. But alright, here we go. First gear. Second. Woo. Alright, I'm chilling in fourth because this was kind of a weird on-ramp, to be honest. But I'm about to get onto the freeway, just not trying to hit any of these cars. I'm revving pretty high right now. I'm at third. Alright. Come on, cars. This was a whack representation of what an on-ramp actually is like when you're trying to kind of open up. Alright. So I'm gonna upshift into fifth. And sixth. I know that wasn't super exciting, but I got you guys. I'll do a pull, a way better pull than that. Alright. So, since that was such a boring pull, I am gonna lose enough speed to where I can kind of show what happens when you rev match. So, what's happening right now is I'm dropping below 2,000 RPMs and I just want to go into fifth. So what's going to happen is I'm about to clutch in. Let me switch lanes so I don't cause a accident here. So I'm going to switch lanes and I'm going to clutch in, give it enough gas, and now I'm in fifth gear and I didn't even have to like brake or anything. It was just a smooth transition. So I'm not trying to waste all my gas, to be completely honest, so I'm going to go back into sixth.
Cool, so it was pretty dark down here, so I had to get my flashlight on, but I was going to go over rev matching in this video, so I just want to explain the footwork behind that a little bit, because while I'm doing it, no one's going to know what the hell I'm doing. So when you're rev matching, basically you're downshifting, but you're giving it enough gas to match the RPM of what you should be in that lower gear. So when you go into a lower gear, you're going to see your RPM shoot up a little bit, and essentially what you're doing when you're rev matching is you're giving it enough gas to where it's going to be a smoother transition. So when I rev match, let's just say I'm in sixth gear and I want to go into fifth. I'm literally going to give it like, I don't want to say feathering, but you're going to be lightly kind of like feeling it out until you see, I usually go up, it depends on how fast you're going, to be honest, and that's the part that you have to remember. But usually if I'm rev matching, I give it enough gas to where it's at like 3,000 RPMs. So it's usually like a super smooth RPM, because that's usually the time that I choose to rev match, but it's going to differ on obviously how fast you're going and what gear you're in. So obviously when you're rev matching, you're going to have to clutch in first, but
recall for airbags in my car, and it was in the driver's seat. And so I bring my car there, and when I get it back, this is what I see on my steering wheel. And mind you, I drive a 5.0. I do not drive a Shelby, a GT500. And I'm just like, I was just laughing so hard because my brother does have a Shelby, and I'm just like, you know, you'd think that they would have less of the Shelby emblems over like the regular Mustang one, and we're just like cracking up. But just wanted to give a clarification for everyone. I do not drive a Shelby, unfortunately. And yeah, nor am I trying to pretend like I am. So just a disclaimer, everyone. Okay, well, looks like I can't do a full pull today. So what I am gonna go over is if you're trying to race, you want to like rev match or downshift into basically the gear that's gonna give you the most power. So for me, my power band is between like 5,000 and 6,000 RPMs. So that means basically that's when I'm getting all of my power to my car. So let's do a prime little example. I'm gonna slow down a little bit so I can get some space in between me and the other cars. So I'm gonna downshift into fifth, downshift into fourth, and here we go. All right, I'm going way too fast and I can't afford to get a ticket, to be honest, but I just hit 90 pretty quick there. The thing is, depending on how fast you're going, that's gonna determine where you wanna start off when you're racing. But most people start off like in fourth gear. The reason why they do that is because what I was explaining before, like you want to get into your power band, like you want to have basically access to all the horsepower that your car has, and when you're in that RPM, that's when your car is working the hardest. So that's essentially when you're going to be gaining the most speed the quickest. So I feel like in my previous video I was talking about how you want to like shift at about 2,000 RPMs. When it comes to driving fast and racing, that's not what you want to do. Like, you are not going to be going that fast if you're like shifting that quick. In fact, if you're really trying to get all the power to your car, you want to be shifting basically right before your red line, you know, and I'll show you guys where the red line is in a little bit. But I only say before your red line because it's really not good to be redlining your car all the time. I remember one time I knew this dude that like all the time he would just like redline his car like for no good reason, and I'm like, dude, like you're fucking up your engine, you know, like you're putting way too much stress on your engine all the time. But heating here, so that's that. At least turn that on so you can see that. So as you can see, the red line is literally where that little red line is. And when I was saying where my power band is, basically you see the 5,000, so that's that 5 through the 6,000. That's usually when my car has the most power, and that's usually when I can just gain speed basically the quickest. And what I was saying is you can obviously redline if you really want to, but it's just not good for your car. That's just putting too much stress on it. And you know, I'm sure people that race have access to multiple cars and maybe they don't care about damaging it that much, but if you're doing this on like your daily driver or just even your nice little car that you take out on the weekends, like you should not be treating it like that. Like that's too much stress, and unless you're like a millionaire that doesn't care about these things and you know, you can swap out cars like whatever, like that's cool, but do not recommend redlining. It's not good for your car. Okay, so I'm really disappointed how that pull went. Obviously, I'm going to have to make another video of me actually doing a pull and like you guys being able to see like me shifting and stuff. I'm really sorry about that. As you can see, this is what I had to deal with.